I guess first thing that comes to mind from just what I talked about in regards to body shaming, and I guess my reflection in regards to that is that we should just be happy that we're trying our best and that we're doing our best, even though we may be far from where we want to be. We should not, I believe what they call it is move that happiness meter further and further from happiness. And instead, just celebrate the small wins that we have that we are currently have already achieved. So if we're capable of just going to the gym and being consistent and know that we're pushing hard and know that we're trying our best with our nutrition, we should just give ourselves credit for that and be happy for that, instead of just thinking that I'll be happy when I get to a certain point, to a certain physique. Because if I were to reflect back, even though I was near my goal of being 165 lean in the past, and I looked great, even people acknowledged and said I looked good, I wasn't happy. So I think that's an issue a lot of people have throughout the world. I know for sure in America, something that a lot of people struggle with is that they always keep moving the happiness meter just to try to chase the next goal, the next toy, the next achievement, only to only for them to when they reach there to not be happy. And I came to a realization that money doesn't really create happiness. And I saw and recognized that at a pretty early age in life. It was probably around 18 or 19 when I first started driving. I noticed that there would be a lot of people in LA driving this nice car, this red Ferrari. And I just remember seeing this red Ferrari one day with an older gentleman, and he just looked so upset, so mad, even though he was driving a nice car. He was wearing a nice suit and all that, but it looked like he was gonna stroke out at any moment, given the level of frustration and aggravation he had on his face. So just having nice things doesn't really equate to happiness, and just a lot of us guys and gals, it's like we think to ourselves, when I get my dream car, I'm gonna be happy. But the thing that occurs when we do reach that point is that yes, it does bring happiness, but that happiness is very short lived. And I believe the psychology and the reason for that is that the happiness comes from going and pursuing the goal, trying to get to that point. It's not exactly itself trying to like receiving and getting the thing that you want. It's the pursuit. Is what really brings joy and happiness for most people. So when people do get to that point, the pursuit is done. So what they tend to do next is chase the next toy, the next big thing, the next achievement, only for them to, when they do get there, they are to become elated for a short moment of time before they get depressed again. So instead of trying to chase the big things and the big goals in life, just celebrate small wins. Celebrate the progress that we take to get there, and just be kind to yourself. I know for me, I'm extremely guilty of that. It's like I am my own worst critic. I am my own worst enemy. I am the one who set myself in some kind of box, some kind of mental prison that only I have the key to get myself out of, right? So, guess what I'm trying to say is just be nicer, be kinder to ourselves, and just celebrate the small wins, you know? And One thing that van life really taught me is that the people that you allow around yourself is extremely important and critical. In the past, my circle would be my family primarily, and then also my partner at the time. And they were extremely negative to the point where it took me down mentally, physically, spiritually, you know? But one thing that van life taught me is that I'm in much more control of my environment and energy now. And I only allow people who are positive to be around me. With the exception of work, that's work, you know. You kind of have to deal with those negativity, but it doesn't have to flow into your weekend, into your days off, or your outside surrounding. So now I'm surrounding myself with much more positive people. And yes, it was hard to really create that distance from my family because they're so used to the dynamics of me just always being there, always being the one that they can rely on and count on. And I think I realized is every time I hang out with them, I'm just so drained. I don't feel happier. I don't feel more accomplished. And it just took so much out of me, you know? And now I'm around people who are just positive and happy, even though I may only see them once in a while because my friends have their own lives and things like that, you know? But every time I hang out with this core group of friends, like I just feel so happy, so much more elated, and so much more motivated to just do things in life. And I'm seriously always just looking forward to hanging out with the bros again, you know? And I'm having lunch with my dad today, and it was my idea. I invited him out just to connect because about 2 weeks ago, I went home just pick up some mail, and I just noticed he was just so happy to see me, and it just seemed like he was really lonely. And so I decided just to give him a shot, you know, to go out lunch with him, and hopefully things are positive. And one thing I know for sure is that I'm going to set my boundaries clear just to keep topic light, positive, and things like that. I don't want him to try to lecture me or try to tell me what to do anymore. And I think he's understanding that as I set my ground, set my boundaries, and we'll see how it goes. With regard to my mom, that's probably not gonna happen. Just to be real. So I've learned to accept that, and that's okay. I'll be around for her when she truly does need me, when her health does decline, and things like that. But as messed up as this sounds, I can't be around my mom when she's still healthy and conscious because she'll always be the person that she is, and that's likely not going to change, sadly. And that's the relationship that my brother and sister also has with her, you know? So it's just not me. And I'm not trying to sound like I'm a victim or whatever, but that's just the harsh reality that I have to accept. That I set my boundaries from her, and I think it's best for both parties that we try to break that toxic cycle, you know? And I guess that's pretty much all that I can think about to talk about right now. It's currently Sunday, so we're probably just going to do some cleaning up and tidying up with the van in preparation for the week. And that's pretty much it. Thank you all for listening to my little rant. And I hope you guys will become and grow the best into the best version of yourself. Most importantly, celebrate every single little win. Be kind, be that gentle to yourself, love yourself. Because if you're like me, you are your own worst critic. You are the hardest one on yourself. Learn to love yourself. Learn to be gentle on yourself. Celebrate every single little win, and that's pretty much it. Thanks, y'all.